1, 2. Any frozen computers now? We good?
No, we're all good.
Oh, hell yeah. Right, lads, man. This should be the second podcast, but we didn't upload the other one because it was a month ago, wasn't it, Connor? Like January 15th.
Yeah,
or something
we couldn't even remember what we talked about, so
like
it's all
a
offensive.
Like a lot happened in between then. Listen, if anyone has bothered to listen to, like, you probably haven't, but it's interesting if someone down the line finds this, which is not interesting, but I don't know what I'm getting at. I'm fucking wrecked. Basically, we haven't really done much music since October because my auntie got sick, like sicker than she was, obviously, but she has passed now, and she passed away just after we did that podcast. Actually, like the week after that, I think it was, or 2 weeks after that. Sorry. So I've just kind of been like, I was actually saying to you, Connor, I'm like, it was like there was a wall in front of me or something, like I just couldn't do anything. I was like, oh, it's like taking the step, but once you do it, like you can just get going again. It's just a matter of taking the step. But it's like there was a weird fog or a wall, like mental. I was like, oh, but
Yeah, I get you.
I'm using today as the initiative to be like, that's what I said. I did say, I should have said this, just recorded the conversation we had a minute ago. My feelings were like, I was like, if I don't touch this music, I won't touch it again. If I don't do a podcast, I won't do it again. So I'm like, today's the day. I have to just, I'm powering through, I'm walking, I'm taking the steps. So here we are. And there is positive shit that been going on in the background as well. Your bio might be a fucking landowner soon, or a homeowner, which is handy. So me and Connor will it's very interesting resource wise because we'll have a good base of operations. So our productivity should skyrocket, and all the time we did lose, we will gain back regardless with like quality shit. So yes, I'm gonna set up like a little studio thing, which means we can actually get with the idea I had, or the little dream we had, let's say. I wouldn't call it a dream because like I don't want it to. I was going to use this as a platform to help little bands and stuff. You know, like Irish bands and stuff. Like that's what I thought was like for the podcast. I thought it was cool. So now we actually have a place where we can be like, here's the address. Come down. We go into my studio out in the back garden, and then we can record it, and then we can like stay in touch with them and stuff, and fucking build something. You know, build a community, like, you know, because there is no help for smaller bands. There's nothing, like zero there. So yes, that's what's been going on. There was a mad tragedy, and now everything is looking on the up and up. Thank fuck, and I'm taking the steps to get back into me life. Let's say what. Still very stressful, man. Trying to get it like this whole fucking, like, it's handy enough when someone says, "Oh yeah, we'll sell this to you." Like, we agreed on the price, and then it's like fucking just hoop after hoop to jump through. So we're still in the early stages, but I'd say it'll take about. It has been moving quick, honestly. I'd say it'll take about 6 to 8 weeks. And then we should be cracking away, because we'll have somewhere to practice for free as well. Because, man, obviously Badlands shut down, and well, they got new owners, but I mean, they look like they charge expensive by the hour, like. Because I know the one in Temple Bar, Connor. Remember, was it Temple Bar? Remember we were there with Dylan.
Temple.
No, that one was expensive.
Yeah.
That was expensive, and
it wasn't great, to be honest, was it?
It wasn't great. No, it wasn't great. Like, your man seemed like a bit of a wanker. The fella that was at the desk on the way in.
I just remember the kid being fucking dreadful. I was like, this is shite. But
it wasn't great at all, but yeah, that's what's been happening. That's why you haven't heard nothing or seen nothing. But I mean, it's gonna be great, man, because I'll be able to practice my vocals as well. Like, it's different when you have your own space, like, you know what I mean, to actually work on yourself and work on what you want to get done in your life. So it's everything should be on the up and up after. Like, once I get settled, like this year, the back half, and next year should be like a mad progression of our stuff.
Yeah.
Which is good, which is really good. And also we today, Connor, I remember I was like, we just focus on Juarez, we get Juarez done.
Yeah,
and
we have.
It's strange how much work we already had done on it, so it's basically done now. I just threw the bass on it today and redid the vocals. So like, that's one demo kind of done, and yeah, the ball is fucking back rolling now. You want to get in and start recording these properly and organise fucking, obviously, the VEP, or I wasn't sure, I can't remember what we talked about, but wasn't sure if we were just going to record them and release them and make, because we've fucking shit ton of songs, or do another EP or something like that. But regardless, I think we should just throw it into the world and see what happens. Just get content out, you know.
Yeah,
we lack with content. Yeah
but for anyone wanting to know, all of our songs are still completely different. all these songs will sound different to the others, so there's no style going. But
yeah, like
that's what I
Juarez
like.
is just fucking. I don't even know how to describe that one, but it's happy though. It's sad though. Lyrics are sad, but it's
Yeah.
happy. It's fucking. It's acoustic, but the drums are heavy and it's fucking. I don't even
It
know how
makes
to
that.
describe it.
I was there for like 2 days, and I was like, right, this is an acoustic song. I was there with brushes and everything. I was like, right, no, fuck this.
This ain't working. Yeah.
It's like pop punk vibe.
Jeez. It does sound good though. Like I'm like, oh, that's spicy. Like I like the way it fucking the big drums make the song go places rather than acoustic would have just been the same flat, quiet
Yeah.
shit. But the song is big. Like it does.
That's what I'm
open.
saying. Like
The drums do what
lyrically,
make
it's
it. Like
quite
yeah.
big. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a very happy song as well. Listen, but just before the October there, I was on a little path of like I wrote like 4 songs I think, and this is one of them times I'm like, oh, it's my best work, but I really like them, and I showed people them, I've sang them like in front of people, just like friends or whatever, and they're like, oh, that one's really good, and I was like,
Yeah.
isn't it? I'm not just mad, this one actually is good, and they're like, yeah. So I'm hoping we can get a new one recorded now. I'm gonna try my best to. Well, I am not try my best. I am going to do that tomorrow. I'm gonna set the foundation for that and show Conrad, and then he can be like, oh, it's shit or something. I don't know. I don't even like
You know
it.
me too well. I'm honest.
Just get an email. I get an email from Connor just being like, I don't even like music or drums or the band.
We'll tell you,
Fuck you, Adam.
I went through a period that in the start of January. I was like, I actually can't play drums anymore. I was just like, do you know when you
It's
like listen
fucking-
to so many songs and you just get sick of it? Like
I know. You just hit the wall.
Ah.
It's just a fucking wall, man. I don't know what it
I was
is.
just playing. I was like, everything's the fucking same. Like I was trying to like change like my setup, everything. Fucking splashed a load of cash. I still was like, I'm not enjoying it. So I just had to
Oh,
literally take
man.
a break. But yeah, sometimes that happens.
Well, listen. Listen. We have a bit of a mission now. We are making our own shit, so that's creative, I suppose. Or I don't fucking know. Help you with your just making stuff, I suppose. You know, it is exciting. It's adrenaline rush when you release it. It's all just
It
pre-work.
is, yeah.
I'm not even interested in it anymore. Kind of the pre-work. I'm like, let's just fucking record the songs, release them, and say we did that. We're good, and let it
Yeah.
speak for themselves. Because man, it's you can spend so much time thinking and planning shit and all, and just fucking at the end of the day, it's just a song
It's a
getting
song.
released.
Yeah.
Like you know, I've seen some shit where it's like, oh, 2 days to release. I'm like, no one cares. It was 2 days till it's released or 1 day till it's released. Fuck, just dump the thing. Once it's done, be like,
Yeah.
oh, it's finished today. Upload it. There you go, people. Here's a class song by us. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, obviously, lads, we're on Spotify. Go and check us out because YouTube's a bit fucked. I still upload. I'm still gonna upload them on YouTube, like the songs, but it's like I didn't realize how much they get lost. Like even though I tried to make a playlist, it still looks fucked. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, it's very hard to find the music, you know.
Yeah, I don't know what's
Um,
happening with YouTube now. It's like is it oversaturated with content or what's going on? But
Oh, I don't know. It keeps changing its fucking policies and everything, man.
'Cause
It's wild.
it
I'm
used
not-
to be
I'm not
really
sure, like-
good. When we started,
It's very
on
hard to
YouTube,
get.
we used to like do
Yeah.
really well, and now it's like, what's going on?
It's just they changed the algorithm, which means you have to play ball, like properly play ball with them, and it's like, oh, well, I don't know if I'm into that. Like I'd rather people just find us and be like, oh, they're all right, rather than
Yeah.
like faking the whole fucking thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's very fake, you know. Yeah, man. Anyway, I'm on a big positivity buzz. I have been for the past couple of weeks. I've really got my shit kind of together. It's all coming back to where it was in terms of where I was before, like when we released the music and shit. So we're still on
Yeah.
track though. We're a month delayed, understandably so. So we're gonna. I
Yeah.
do want to get in, finish these demos as quick, not as quick as we can yet, and then whack in, record, start trying to find band members and shit and all, and fucking yeah. That's the plan, man. So I'm not sure there's much more we can update them on. That's basically what the fuck is happening. I still have a couple of, like, I have this book in front of me here. I've ideas for the second EP titles and shit and art
Yeah.
ideas and all that. So we're gonna suss that out anyways. And yes. So man, let's just talk about anything else besides fucking tragedies and all.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's too many tragedies at the moment. It's like, I really don't want to
Yeah,
talk about more
The earth is bollocks, man. It's just
The
everything's
earth.
fucked at the minute.
exactly
Man, did
fucked.
you see some fucking did you see some farmer got pecked to death by a chicken out in Limerick?
What?
Yeah,
Fuck off.
he had a fuck. It was a pet chicken as well. Like it was a pet. He
Jesus.
I think he had a blood disorder. So obviously, no, when you what's that called? There's a name for it. Something
Blood
flea.
clot or
What the fuck's it
something.
again? No, it's like, you know, your blood is really thin, so if you get a cut, like, it's that your
Ah,
like, it doesn't, it's very hard to get to
thinning or
stop.
something. Yeah, yeah.
So that he went in and was like, oh, there, I'm a little pet chicken, and I just pecked him, and he went, oh, I'm bleeding, and I just kept pecking him, and then he just fell over and just got pecked to death by one chicken. One fucking
Jeez.
chicken did him in, like, the chicken he loved and raised. He wasn't even going to eat it, he just his pet, like, I just killed him, and that's it. He's dead. That's fucked up. Yeah, it's a bit comical, like, it's a shy way to go. Like, it's a bit embarrassing. Like, it's the equivalent of
kinda
walking
funny
out without
though.
looking left and right and going, fuck it. Like, he could have stopped that. He could have just, I don't know how he got killed by a chicken, actually. He have pecked his ankles or something, and he went, oh, I'm fell, and then I pecked his artery or something, like, in his neck. It must have been a fucking professional chicken. Holy shit. Got assassinated, man.
Jesus.
Bizarre,
Fucking
though,
hell.
man. There's a lot of weird shit going on, and I feel like we should touch on this whole fucking, I don't know
The
what's
US.
going on with my Facebook feed and my YouTube feed, but I'm
Oh,
getting
yeah.
lambasted by just racist shit. Like some of it is rooted in points that have to be talked about in terms of like immigration and stuff forever, but like
Yeah.
most of it is just nonsense. It's really racist shit, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm getting like bombarded by it. Like, I can't scroll for more than a second without someone being like, oh, fucking Somalians. I'm like, I don't care about Somalians. The fuck? Like, why are you showing me this? I just want to see me family's pictures. Like, I don't care about this. Like,
Yeah.
well, I do care
Right.
about it to an extent. There's been a spike. Now that's a fact. There has been a spike in, like, unfortunately, it's rape. Like, it's just
Yeah.
what's been happening. Like, you know, whether it's a cause and effect, I don't know, but it's happening. But to like corroborate the two and be like, oh, that's because of this, I don't know. And everyone keeps saying they're unvetted. I'm like, there's no way you know if they're vetted or unvetted. Plus, if someone is like a fucking, if they're fleeing a war-torn country, how can you vet someone? Like,
Yeah.
how can they prove it? They just fled. They haven't got anything. So how are you supposed to take that word for, like, oh, I'm a surgeon, and you just go, you're vetted, get in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're obviously not going to sit there and go, ah, yeah, well, back in my country, I'd raped and murdered and escaped the prison, and now I came over here. Like, they're not going to say that. Like, so, vetted or unvetted, it doesn't matter. Like, it's
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot
But
of brainwashing going on and a lot of
Yeah.
anti-sentiment. I don't agree with, but
The
I don't know.
the thing that like kind of annoys me is that like whatchamacallit, everyone is very opinionated, but they're either right or they're wrong. They can't listen to both sides. That's
Exactly.
what I hate about like
There's
'cause-
no reason to be found in it. It's either you're
No.
this or that, and you both
And
hate each other. So nothing gets
Yeah.
nothing gets done, like, about anything.
nothing gets
There's no
done
middle
or
ground. Like,
no progress or it's the usual shit. It just reminds me of England back in the days when, you know, they got a lot of immigrants. It's basically what Ireland's turning into now.
Jesus,
you know,
yeah.
which
In the
is kinda
80s and
cool.
in the 70s and 80s, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, if you want to compare England to Ireland at the minute, if that's the same, then we're going down a bad path, because look. Now this is, again, this sounds racist, but you can take it whatever way you want. But look at England at the minute. Look what's happening. They just threw below the high rises and just threw them all into these places, and now they're just riddled
Yeah.
with knife crime and all that.
Yeah.
Like, because
That's exactly what they did.
you can't. There's
But sure.
literally, there's no, like, bridge. You know, when you take it, like, there's immigrants coming
Yeah.
in, which, like, not even immigrants, let's say fucking refugees and stuff, which, listen, they have to go somewhere. There's a reason why they're fleeing. I don't want to go where they've came from. Like, they want a
Yeah.
better life. It's understandable, like, you know. But there's no bridge in Ireland. It's just like, oh yeah, come to the country, stay there, and then there's no bridge to the community to be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, to assimilate
Yeah.
them. There's no assimilation. It's just, they just get thrown somewhere, and you're like, oh, there you go. Like, that's fucked up to them as well. Like, you know, it's not right at
and
all.
a lot of issues are like government issues or whatever, and then people are kind of making it racist and stuff like that. When
Yeah.
in fact it's a bigger issue, and they're blaming people who have been through a lot of shit. Like, you know, it's just
Exactly,
like
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Like, yeah, it's a
But you see, it's easier when you have someone to blame. It's hard to blame. Listen, it is a failure of policy. It's a failure of government. That's what this is. It's a failure on their part.
No, 100%.
But they're happy enough. But they're happy enough for the branch of the media which is owned by the government, which is RTE, and that's why
Yeah.
there was a march actually at RTE today and yesterday. It's been going on for a while, where they're like, "Yous are not telling the truth about this. Yous are building a narrative and then inciting hate," which they are. They'll say, "Racist right wingers march because this happened," and you're like, "Well, no, hold on for 2 seconds. Hold on for 2 seconds. Yous made that headline up, and you're saying it as truth. You weren't even there. So
Yeah.
what are you talking about?" Like, there's been a lot of bullshit after being called out, which I appreciate that. This is going to become a bigger issue of, like, and I'm surprised more countries haven't done this, but fair play to whoever is down there marching, being like, "You're fucking lying." And
Yeah.
stop lying about us, man, because they're painting areas. Put it this way, right? Why did the government decide to put a load of refugees, let's say, or illegal immigrants? Why are they dumping them in Finglas? Why are they dumping them in Ballymun? Why are they dumping them in these already run down
Yeah.
areas? Why
Exactly.
why aren't they dumping them to fucking somewhere like Uppity or something like that? Why not?
Yeah.
Because they don't
There's-
care. Like they just, and you can understand the pressures of like, we already have nothing, and they are putting this in a community. Like, the community's already fucked at the minute. It's drugs, violence, all. We already have our own shit to deal with. Now you're giving us another whole thing to worry about. Like, it's not fair. And then
Yeah.
they're marching, and then people are going, yous are just racist, and they just keep saying you're far right, and they're like, we're not far right, we're not anything. Like,
Yeah.
just because you call us it doesn't mean we are it. Like, that's what's funny as well. It's like, the word far right and the word Nazi means nothing now. It's because everyone can get called it for no reason. You've just destroyed the meaning of the fucking word, like, man. So
Yeah, no,
it's going very strange
the
at the minute.
whole-
I don't know how
the
this is all
whole-
going to end, but I don't know.
No, the whole idea of like everyone has freedom is complete bollocks and and all that shit, unfortunately. But yeah, that's the way we're going, unfortunately. And
Like,
you change it.
I can feel for both. I can feel for the people in the communities that have to take in these extra people and be like, we already don't have resources. You don't give us any money. You don't care about us, like,
Yeah.
because it's a bad area. But I can also understand it's not the fucking person getting put in there's fault. They're like, we got put here. Like, we trying to flee war torn fucking wherever. Like, it's, although there is another issue to be said, and this is failure of government, is that they keep lying. They lied about the school around the corner from me in Drimina, Morn Road. They
Yeah.
lied. They sent. Now I know this because I work in the fucking schools.
Right,
I know
yeah.
this happened. Like, this is a fact. I know this is a fact. So
Yeah.
and I know for if I was to say this, I'd be told you're a liar. Like, I don't care. Here's what happened, right? Morn Road, there was a busload of refugees, which were not Ukrainians, by the way. They weren't. They were all men, and they were put into a primary school.
Yeah.
That makes no fucking, to live in a primary was, and here's what happened, right? Obviously they lied to the teachers, sent the kids home early on the Thursday, and were like, oh yeah, the heating's broke, you just have to go home. No such thing. And then that evening they got sent in, and they were there overnight the next day, and they're still around. Like, the bus that came in, the immigrants are still there. They're in the area. They're just put into these fucking apartment blocks and into the schools and all, and community halls, and it's not right. It's not fair. Because, put it this way,
Fuck's sake.
they're not allowed to stay in there, so they're sleeping there, which means they get fucked out in the morning. They're like, go wander, and like, that's not good for them. It's not, because it's not good for them. It's not good
No.
for us either. Like, it's weird. Like, why? How is this happening? Like, and it isn't Ukrainians. That's what people are annoyed about as well. It's like, we can understand people are coming from a war, but there's people who are coming from anywhere. Like, and that's the thing. That's the issue.
Yeah.
When they're saying unvetted, they just mean we don't know who these are.
Yeah.
Like, whether they're, because you can't really vet someone like that if you have no way to prove the fuck where they came from. Yeah, but
Yeah.
they obviously, that's the terminology they're using, is unvetted. But then the newspapers are going, well, you're saying that, you don't even know your shit. So I just think people need to be smarter about the way they're doing this and the way they're voicing their opinions, because they're being smeared, like, absolutely
Yeah.
smeared. And it's fucking bizarre. Well, there you go, Connor. What do you think of that? That really happened. The school, they lied to all the shit that the parents found out, obviously, and then they were marching, and then there was people. The news went down and was like, "Oh, these racist yokes," and like, how are we racist? How was it's a safety issue for our kids, obviously. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is, like? It's just bizarre. Like,
No,
they're willing to lie and let people get. Let's say a bus comes in with 100 people on it, yeah,
Yeah.
and just one of them happens to be a rapist, yeah.
Yeah.
Or a child molester, or so maybe they come from a culture where it's all right to approach fucking a 12-year-old girl and be like, and because the ethics are different. Like, you come from a completely different culture. It's like if we went to Saudi Arabia and kissed in public, we go to prison.
Yeah.
Or if you're gay, you go to prison for life. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. It's just different cultures. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not an
Yeah.
excuse for them to act like fucking assholes, but you have to understand, being like, you're gonna take them in and then not assimilate them, then they're gonna act like that. But
Yeah,
to let them let them be around a kid's school, let's say one of them happened to be a fucking paedophile or something like shit, so they're willing to risk a child getting abused because they don't want to deal with the issue. The government, like, they don't want to deal with the issue, but they're okay with someone coming in and potentially killing someone, or
Yeah.
raping someone, or murdering someone. And there actually has been rapes. There's been a, I don't know. Now, then again, I don't know if I'm getting brainwashed, and I've just, obviously, I'm getting cognitive bias from seeing what I've seen. Maybe it's not as bad as it
No.
is, but it looks pretty bad. and I'm trying my best to discern between the bullshit and not bullshit. But at the end of the day, it's a failure of government, and you shouldn't blame the people who are coming here trying to get a better life.
That's
you know
my
what I mean?
main point. That's my main point, because like I'm saying, both sides are kind of fucked at the moment. But the
Yeah.
fact is that they're blaming it on the actual people, which is really fucked up, because it's not them, you know. But
Yeah.
So
So there was a. Here's what was funny as well, right? The fella, there was an anti far right march that came past the school, and it was a fella that was from fucking where was it again? It's was it Tavernier was leading the march. Was like, oh yeah, we're here, and then they were like, you're not even from here. How about you let them go down and stay in your schools? And he had nothing to say. He was like, oh well, that's not this and that. And he's like, no, hold on for 2 seconds. You can't come down here to our community and say you are welcome when you're not welcome in your own fucking community. You're doing this because you want a virtue signal and be like, I'm a good person, I'm just this. Like, if it was affecting them personally, they'd be doing the same fucking marches, and they would. They fucking would, man. Like,
well, that's always my point. And you know, like I say this about a lot of stuff as well. Like, this is gonna sound really bad, but a lot of these like charity gigs or whatever you see people do, and like what annoys me is, like, fair enough if you be like, yeah, I'm doing this to benefit myself, whatever. But a lot of people say, oh yeah, this is for someone else, but in reality, all they care about is themselves. They couldn't give a shite about that cause.
Leeches, fucking
And
leeches.
I see it so much, and it's happened so much, and it honestly just annoys me, like.
Yeah,
you know,
man, I've seen that. I think I feel like we've talked about this before. It used to be homelessness. It's like, oh, this song is for the homeless. I'm like, how is it for the homeless? It's for you and your fucking to get a few likes, extra likes on page. You couldn't fuck off. Now it's like, oh,
paying
this song
for a pint.
Jesus, man, it's yeah, no, man, yeah, you're right though. Yeah, they're just leeches, man. That's fucked up behaviour, man, to be doing that. Like, oh, this shit, this is for the refugees, and you're like, it's not for anything at all. You're just releasing your music around a convenient time and just attaching it, you leechy piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I feel like we should have talked about this in depth when we had more thought about it. I feel like we just talked absolute shit.
We're just rambling.
I've just rambled about shit, yeah. I don't know. What time are we at anyway? We must be fucking a good chunk in now, are we?
We're a good 24. I think we have a good introduction to the start of the year. Well, it's February. yes. And there will be one every week. This one is getting uploaded straight away, so no procrastination, no nothing. Actually, no, I can't. I have to wait for you to send the outgo over. But when you send it, the second you send it, it'll be getting uploaded straight away. Like, set to upload date, not uploaded on the day. But I'll get it done as soon. Yeah, won't take long.
ASAP, yeah. Right, we'll call this we'll wrap this up, let's say, and I don't know. Here's me final message of this podcast. It's like, stop being racist pieces of shit, and also stop blaming people who have real concerns about race, because you're allowed to have concerns. It doesn't mean you're racist. Yeah. That's all I want to say. I have concern for both, because everyone's getting a fucking raw deal, except the people who are responsible for making the fucking deals. You know what I mean? Like, it's bullshit. Yeah. Fuck the government.
It's always higher up. That's involved in everything.
Oh, did you see Bertie Ahern is fucking back? He's coming back to politics. Oh man, we're fucked, man. We're all fucked. Like, how is that? Can't be legal. He caused the crash. Like, the amount of backdoor deals and brown envelopes that passed that man's hand, like, is fucking mental. And he's gonna come in and fix a housing crisis he made. He did this. It's his fault. This is policy. It's party policy. What the fuck? I don't know. Anyway, that's another tangent for another day, man. I can't wait. We something to talk about. But we'll come back with topics on the next one. Yeah, we'll write some shit down we find interesting during the week, and then we'll have a natter. We'll come back. But I'm not sure who's gonna hear this or not. I'm not even. I don't even know whether is there a point in me putting it on the Facebook page, Connor, or will I just do it just for the crack to get the ears on it? Or?
If you want to, yeah, it mightn't be a bad idea to just say, yeah, we're alive.
Just see what happens. Yeah, see what happens. Right, Buckos. Good night. This was interesting. Glad to be back though, man. I just need to get through the fog. You know? Yeah. Through the fucking fog. Through the fire and the flames will carry on. Bit of Dragon Force. So far away.
Do you know what? The year gets much better after February, I always think. January, February, shit months. March.
It really is, man, yeah.
No, it is.
I didn't believe you when you said it, but it's fucked, isn't it? Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Going January. I hate January.
Fucked. I agree now. I fucking agree. I agree. It fucks your shit up, man. It does. Right. We'll sign this off, lads. We will. You'll hear our two voices very soon, and hopefully, no, not hopefully. Listen, I'll be in the gaff, and we'll get guests down, and we'll get local bands and shit, and be like, oh, deadly, and we can collaborate and build something real. But if you're here first, fair play to you, which means you're an OG, and we'll give you $1 million when we're rich. That's not legally binding, patent pending. I don't know. Right, Connor, do you want to say anything before we bounce?
No, just thanks for listening, and we'll be uploading more soon, and we're working on demos. So
and head to the Spotify.
Head to the Spotify. Yeah, do check
Listen
that
to
out.
juicy music. Yeah, juicy music. Right, lads. Good night, God bless. I shall see you. Bye.
Bye.